Hello viewer, welcome for Business Studies Form 2. Give us your feedback through our SMS number 40007. You can also do the same through our Facebook page, Arimu TV, or through our Twitter handle, Arimu_KE. So today we are going to look at the second part of cooperatives. Remember, we started with cooperatives in our previous lesson. So we are going to look at the other part of cooperatives. So our lesson preview, we are going to start with our last lesson. We are also going to look at SACCOS. We are also going to look at primary cooperatives, secondary cooperatives, and we are going to also look at the circumstances under which cooperatives may be dissolved. Our last lesson preview, I left you with some questions. Number one, you are supposed to explain the problems, outline the problems that face consumer cooperatives in Kenya. And one of the problems is that they face very stiff competition from large-scale retailers. So we find that consumer cooperatives face a lot of competition from large-scale retailers, for example, the supermarkets. The other problem is that they don't afford to employ qualified staff. And we said that their inability to employ qualified staff makes them not to perform well. Because qualified staff like accountants, they may not afford to employ such professionals. The other one is the reluctance of non-members to buy goods from them. So find that those people who are not members of consumer cooperatives, they are not so much interested. They don't have interest of buying goods from them. And therefore, that one reduces their sales. The other one is mismanagement of consumer shops. And this is whereby you find that those people who are supposed to be making sure that there is good management, or those who are given the role of management, they actually mismanage consumer shops. Maybe by embezzling the funds, the profits that is realized, and not opening the shops as regularly it's supposed to be. So such mismanagement makes the consumer shops not to perform well. The other question, you are supposed to give reasons why producer cooperatives are popular in Kenya. Why are they so popular? And number one, they are popular because they provide farm inputs on credit to members. If you remember, I explained to you what are producer cooperatives, and I told you that they are cooperatives that mostly they deal with farm products. So they deal with farm products. So they are formed. Remember, I also told you that they are formed by people who come together with a common interest. So they deal, to be specific, producer cooperatives deal with farm products. So they have continued to be popular because they provide farm inputs on credit to members. Inputs like fertilizers. Remember, for you, when you're doing farming, you need fertilizers. You also need the farming tools. All those, they are provided on credit to members. So members just go into the cooperative and they pick the equipment that they need. Then their cost, they get deducted. The cooperative deducts that from the profits of the members. The other reason why they have continued to be popular is because they provide loans to members. So if you are a member of a producer cooperative, you are in a position to acquire a loan that you will have to repay with a very little interest rate. The other one is because they continue to educate. They do educate members on better methods of production through seminars, field trips, workshops. So you find that they mobilize the members and then they educate them. Let's say we have a cooperative that is dealing with rabbit, with a product like coffee, for instance. So what happens is that the cooperative organizes for seminars, and therefore it mobilizes the members. Then they call them and explain to them how they are supposed to take care of the coffee plantations so as to be able to get more output, to be able to get more output. So farmers are able to increase their output from what they done from what they are taught by the cooperative. The other reason why they have continued to be popular is because they do provide better storage facilities for goods. What happens is that after the goods are ready, the cooperative collects them, then they are kept in a safe place, awaiting for the market. So that the fact that they provide storage facilities for goods makes them more famous, because no one can afford to keep the goods safe before they get a market, but the cooperative comes in and does that. Let's now look at our specific objectives for the lesson. We are going to continue with the cooperatives, and by the end of the lesson, you are expected, or you should be able to outline advantages and the disadvantages of SACCOS. You should also be able to differentiate between primary and secondary cooperatives. Remember, I told you that you can categorize all the cooperatives that we have. We can categorize them into two, either as primary cooperatives or secondary cooperatives. We are going to look into these into details in the course of our lesson. You should also be able to give the advantages and the disadvantages of cooperatives, and you should also be able to explain circumstances under which a cooperative can be dissolved. Now let's start with SACCOS. SACCOS means the Saving and Credit Cooperative Society. Savings and Credit Cooperative Societies. These they are formed. They are cooperatives. They are actually, SACCOS are cooperatives actually, and they contribute substantially to the people's development, because they grow their savings. The members grow their savings from monthly deductions. These monthly deductions is called check-off, and it is deducted from the members' salary. So they also have very easy credit terms. And that is why you'll find that the SACCOS of late have become very, very popular. Because if you are a member and you want to get a loan, find that the terms that are required for you to be able to get that loan are very easy as compared to banks and other financial institutions. So that is one factor that has contributed to the popularity of SACCOS, because I think the requirement for one to acquire a loan, you just need to be signed for. You are given a application form for a loan. Then you need to be signed for by a number of members, depending on the amount that you want. But if you go to banks, that is not the case. There are so many requirements that you need to fulfill before you get to acquire a loan from a bank. Let's now look at advantages of SACCOS. And one of the advantages of SACCOS is that the profit realized is distributed to members in form of dividends. The profit that is got, remember, SACCO, it's a business unit. So at the end of the day, they make profit. So that profit is distributed to members in form of dividends. That's an advantage. The other one is that it enables members to save. It enables members to save. How? We find that in the SACCOS that we have, they actually encourage people to save a lot, and they don't mind how much you are saving with them, provided that you are saving. They don't mind how much you are saving. So that way, you find that it is encouraging members to be able to save. The other one is that members obtain loans at low interest rates. The loans that is given by the members, the interest rates charged on those loans is very minimal. It's very little. And therefore, that is an advantage compared to other banks and other financial institutions that we have. The loans that you get from a SACCO, mostly, I know a number of SACCOs that charge, I think, around 1% interest rate on the amount that you borrow. Let's continue with the advantages. And the other advantages is that in case of death, in case a member dies and maybe has a loan, the outstanding loans are actually done away with, a term which we refer to as written off. So outstanding loans are written off. They are done away with because the person who had borrowed the loan, who was given the loan, has died. So there is no stress to the members, family members, that maybe the other members will come and claim their personal property. No, that is not the case. In case one dies without having not cleared a loan, that is done away with. So it is written off. The other advantage is that in case of death, the beneficiaries may be refunded twice the amount of share contribution. This means that in case a member dies, the amount that person had contributed is refunded to the beneficiaries. Maybe it was a member who had children. Those children get what their parent had saved with the SACCO, not just the exact amount, but more, twice that amount. So that is an advantage. So find that beneficiary benefit out of that. The other advantage is that it is easy to obtain loans, as only few legal formalities are required. I've just explained to you that for you to obtain a loan as a member of a given SACCO, there are very, very few requirements that you need for you to be able to get that loan, and therefore that one is an advantage. The other one is that they offer education to members. They mobilize the members at some point after some time, and they educate them on things like financial discipline, how you are not supposed to misuse your money, and that way that benefits the members. The other one is that they may offer banking facilities through their front office services. When we talk of banking facilities, we talk of services that are offered by banks. And you find that SACCOs also do the same. Like when they accept your deposit, that is a banking facility. So they are offering that. They do offer that. Accepting, for example, deposit. Accepting deposits. The other one is that members are able to obtain different categories of loans. And they just said that they do give loans at very low interest rates. So you can get any category of a loan. For instance, you may need a normal loan maybe to upgrade your standards of living. You may also need a loan for school fees. You may also need a loan to expand your business. You may term that as a refinancing. And even for emergency reasons. So you can get loans, different categories of loans from SACCOs. Now, those are the advantages. Let's now look at the disadvantages of SACCOs. One of the disadvantages is that they may not have enough finances to cater for members' financial needs. This means that the members may have so many needs that needs to be satisfied through money, using money, and therefore you find that the circle may not be able to cater for all the members' needs. The other disadvantages is the continual default borrowees, which may at the end of the day cripple or bring down the SACCOS financially. We find that people do take loans, but they don't honor the fact that the promise, they don't honor their promises of repaying the loans. So that may bring down the SACCOS financially. It may become bankrupt at the end of the day. The other disadvantages is that SACCOS faces stiff competition from well-established financial institutions. What we mean is that they do face a lot of competition from banks. They do face a lot of competition from banks. The other one is management of SACCOS. This one is very common, whereby you have the chairman, the people elected to manage the SACCOS. They misuse the funds, and that is all mismanagement. So when they are mismanaged, they come crippling down. They may become bankrupt and therefore end up dissolving. They end up dissolving. The other disadvantage is that corruption and misappropriation of funds may lead the SACCOS to financial problems. Corruption, and misappropriation of funds. That is maybe using money realized or the profit realized by the SACCOS in the wrong activity. And this one may make the SACCOS to have financial problems or become bankrupt. Let's now look at cooperative societies. All the cooperative societies that you have, you can either categorize them as primary cooperatives or secondary. Now, what are primary cooperative societies? These are cooperative societies that are composed of individuals who are either actual producers, consumers, or people who join up to save and obtain credit conveniently. So the owners are individuals. The owner of this kind of a cooperative society are individual. So if you have a cooperative society that is owned by individual, we refer to it as a primary cooperative society. And you find that primary cooperative societies engage in activities such as a production of milk, coffee, sugarcane, cashew nuts. So they do engage in such activities, and you find that most of our primary cooperatives operate at the village level. They are found in the villages. And let's now look at secondary cooperative societies. What are they? And who forms them? Secondary cooperative societies are also referred to as unions. They are also referred to as unions, and they are composed of primary cooperative societies. So what do you mean? Are you able to distinguish between primary and secondary cooperative societies? We have said that primary cooperative societies are formed by individuals. But now, this primary cooperative society can become under one umbrella and form what we are calling secondary cooperative society. So, a secondary cooperative society is composed of primary cooperative societies. So, primary cooperative societies are the members. And I find that these ones are mostly found at district levels or national levels. And a very good example of a secondary cooperative society is the KPCU, which deals with coffee. We also have the KNFC, an abbreviation of Kenya National Federation of Cooperatives. And you'll find that all cooperatives are under one umbrella. We could refer to it as the apex body called the Kenya National Federation of Cooperatives. Let's now look at advantages of now cooperative societies. But before that, when we started the lesson on cooperatives, we said that we have various types of cooperatives. And can you be able to give them out? We started with, we said that we have consumer cooperatives. We also talked of producer cooperatives. Now we have also talked about primary cooperatives. And we have also talked about secondary cooperatives. And we also talked about savings and credit cooperative societies, referred to as SACCOS. So the advantages we are going to look at now are general advantages of cooperative societies. And one of the advantages is that interests of the members are served more effectively through co-ownership. Interests of the members are served more effectively through co-ownership. And you find that this one usually enables the cooperative societies to be able to serve the members better. The other one is that the cooperatives are able to provide services to members at minimum possible cost due to economics of scale. Economics of scales are the advantages that are associated with large firms. And you will find that cooperative societies are usually big. And the fact that they are big, there are those advantages that are associated with that. And that enables them to be able to provide services to members at minimum possible cost. Because you find that, like loans, if a member takes a loan, the interest charged is very minimal, very little interest rate. So those are some of the services we may talk of. The other advantage is that members share profit earned by the cooperative after a given period of time. Maybe quarterly, that is after a given period of time. The profit realized is shared among the members. So that is an advantage, that the members do share that profit that is earned by the cooperative. That is after a given period of time, depending on how the members agree. Members have equal chances to the management committee of committee. The other advantage is that they have principles of membership is open-ended or voluntary. That is, one, you can join at will and you can quit anytime you want. The other one is that members have limited liabilities. When you say a member has unlimited liabilities, what we mean is that in case this cooperative is unable to repay its debts, your personal property as a member cannot be claimed to be used to repay the cooperative's loan. The other advantage is that they eliminate exploitation of members by middlemen. When middlemen come in, find that what happens is that the end product becomes a bit expensive, and the final consumer have to purchase the product at a higher price. But when it comes to cooperatives, they do eliminate them. Remember, we said, for instance, consumer cooperatives, they do buy goods directly from the producers. Then after the producers, they sell them directly to the members and the other consumers who are non-members. So there are no middlemen. And now let's look at disadvantages of cooperative societies. And one of the disadvantages is that majority of societies cannot take advantage of economies of scale because of their capital base. I find that what happens is sometimes the initial capital is not enough to be able to expand the business. The other disadvantages is poor management due to lack of qualified personnel. They don't employ qualified personnel to run the businesses, and therefore management does not perform well. The other disadvantage is the problem of corruption and embezzlement of funds. This one I talked about earlier on, and I said that the people chosen, the people who are elected to manage, misuses the funds. They misuses the funds of the cooperative. So that one is a disadvantage. The other one is that it may suffer from political interference, whereby you find that some people may have different interests. So a group of members wanting to have one person chosen and another group going for another person. And this one, you find that it may lead to poor management and inefficiency. The other disadvantage is that members have a right to withdraw their membership, which may affect the cooperative financially. So there are no rules that are set aside trying to maybe force the members to keep on or to continue being members. It is very free. You may want, if you want to withdraw from being a member, you can do that at your own wish. And if more than one member withdrew, that would affect the cooperative financially. Let's now look at circumstances under which cooperative societies may be dissolved. Once again, I said that dissolution means bringing a business to an end. It stops operating. And the dissolution of cooperatives may come about due to the following reasons. One, in case of an order from the Commissioner of Cooperatives, the Commissioner of Cooperatives may order the cooperative society to be dissolved due to so many reasons, for instance, engaging in illegal businesses. The other one would be in case of a court order. The court may order a cooperative society to be dissolved. This one may come about due to maybe disagreement by members. And the other one is if the society is declared bankrupt. A cooperative society or any business cannot run without money. So if the society is declared bankrupt, it will just have to dissolve. The other one is if the members voluntarily decide to dissolve the society, members can sit down and mutually agree to put an end to the business they have been conducting. The other one is in case of withdrawal of members from the society, leaving less than 10 members. From the rules of cooperative societies, the minimum number of members should be 10. So, in case the members do withdraw and they remain less than 10, then the next thing would be dissolving the cooperative society. That marks the end of our lesson. I'm going to review with the following assignment, and you are going to review it in our next lesson. Number 1, outline 6 advantages of SACCOS. Number 2, explain circumstances under which cooperative societies may be dissolved. I'm going to review with our quote of the day. And our business quote of the day says that strength and growth comes only through continuous effort and struggle. So if you want your business to grow, to have lots of strength and to grow, that means to expand. You have to continue putting much effort and struggling to make what is not working out to work out. Continue watching and running.